All right, so one of the things about this, how many of you got through all questions? No one? Yeah. That's okay. Let's talk about, I can go through, do you guys want me to go through the answers first, or do you want me to, or do you guys want to go through and say which one? Dude, I am recording this right now, so you need to watch it. Would you guys rather me go through the ones you think you did know, and you know, go through each question and talk about those individually?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Okay, take a look at the first page. How many of you thought number 1 was a problem that you could do? What'd you guys get? Did you guys get 10?
No. Now I did. Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's all right. This is one I think we should all be able to do.
Wait, why isn't it C?
No, I'm not joking.
It's not 2?
No, it's 10.
All right. So 2 over 1, right? Let's think about it that way.
Right. So on this one,
Flip those and then make it 4.
k is equal to 3, right? Plug that in for 3. So you have x minus 1 over 3 equals 3. Which number makes that equation true? 10. 10 minus 1 divided by 3. 10 minus 1 is 9 over 3, which gives you 3.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
That's okay. That's just substitution and solving an equation. And I didn't even solve that, I just thought about it. Oh, sure. I'm recording it, so it'll be available to you. Number 2. This is one, if you're in Algebra 2, you should be able to do. That's okay. So this is one, if you're in Algebra 2, I would put that. If you are not in Algebra 2, this should have been a big fat, X, okay? It is A. All you're doing here, guys, is you are just combining like terms. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. 3 plus 9 is 12. Okay. Number 3, this is one, in my opinion, I think we all should have said yes. What's up?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, duh. I'm on the wrong.
Wrong page. Is it C?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, this one was C.
Oh, hey, I got that right.
Okay. Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. Tyrone sent P messages for 4 hours. So 5M plus 5P. Okay, and you don't multiply them, you add them together. Okay. Number 4. This is one. So P equals 108 minus 23D. Okay? This is the same thing as y equals mx plus b. Okay? So if you're in Algebra 1, then this is stuff we've covered. Okay? The 108, it wants to know what is the meaning of the value of 108 in this equation. That's your y-intercept, or also known as your initial value.
So it's what she starts with. It's
Right.
the 100 phones she gets every week.
Right. B. Guys, I want to ask you something. On this first page, how much math have I done? Very little. That's the thing about this. It's more about you guys recognizing what the problem is asking you to do, and can you do it? Okay? All these ones, except for this one, if you have not been in Algebra 2, these are all fair game questions that we should be able to do, in my opinion.
Crap.
That's okay. Guys, we're going to practice these. Okay?
I'm so tired, dude.
Tired of being afraid? age. 5, if you're in Algebra 2, I would say, yeah, kind of. All you're doing is combining like terms here.
Wait, what about 4?
You distribute the negative.
4 was B. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, combine like terms. Distribute your negative.
Oh.
All right. You should get C on this. This one is tricky, but it's something that you are capable of doing.
Oh, 5 for C.
Okay, 5 is C. 6. I just read this one. It's A. This is one we should be able to do. Okay.
7, right?
Pediatrician, huh?
I said no, we knew 7, right?
7's not as hard as you think it is. Well, it's hard, but it's not like awful. Number 6, pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age A in years between ages 2 and 5. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? What is this question asking you to find?
How much he grows each year?
What do we also call that? Rate of change, your slope. Notice, this is the same thing as y equals mx plus b. Same format, just using different letters. So, based on the model, increase in inches of a boy's height each year. You're talking about two different things, a comparison between two different things. Height per year. That's a rate of change. All I'm looking at is this number here. And guys, I'm reading these, I really sit there. When I'm taking a test like this, I really read the question. Okay, this one sucks. What this one, and this one probably for you was a definite like X. Okay?
It's B.
It is B.
Really?
Yeah. So here's what they want you. Well.
I hope you're wrong. It's B.
No. Yeah. It's B. So here. Look. Watch this. If I did M equals 3/4 times P. Okay, I would write that down because this one isn't like too bad. And if I wanted to solve this equation for P, then I would multiply by the reciprocal, which is you flip the fraction, multiply by 4/3. Multiply by 4/3. That's how you move those fractions over. 4's divide out, 3's divide out. So then you get this. You get that P is equal to 4/3 times M. The reason why I am solving this equation for P is strictly because which of the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N? That means solve for P. What is P in terms of? So P equals stuff with R, N, and M.
Dollars.
Well, whatever.
Right.
Well,
In this case, dollars, right?
yeah, I mean, right, but like all it wants me to do, notice what we did here. Okay? Notice how we went from our original M equals 3/4 P to P equals 4/3 M. All I'm doing is I'm taking this entire thing here and I am flipping it and putting it next to M. Therefore, it's B.
Knew it.
I'm not doing any math. I'm just, yeah, and this is recognition. Like I recognize this stuff. Okay? This one would be one I would not, right off the bat, not something I'd expect you to be able to do. Okay? But if you can understand the simplicity of what I'm doing here, understanding that all they're asking you to do is solve for p, all you got to do is flip the fraction, put it next to m, and you're good. All right? Number 8. I got 2. Anybody put that as a star?
No.
No, I have no clue. I thought I had a clue at first. I was like, oh, there's not a lot of words here. I could probably do this.
This is one, yeah, this is a tricky one.
I could not do it, though.
Okay. So it says if AB,
I got it. This is the one that I thought we were on when we were on the first one. It's C. Yes, I got it.
if A over B is equal to 2,
It's simple. Like,
okay,
think about it like 1
what
over
is the value of B over 4 times B over A? Now, if I wanted to find B over A, I would just take the reciprocal of 2, which is 1/2. Okay? Then I substitute 1/2 into B over A here, and I do 4 times 1/2, which is just 2. This one's hard. I'm recording this, so you'll have a chance to go back.
Sense it was easy at all. Honestly.
Well, right, but these are things we can talk about where it's like, how do you know to do this? And I look at what I have, and what am I trying to find?
Yeah, but that one made sense. None of the other ones did. Like, you know.
What about 9? Systems of equations. These are things we have seen before.
What's the answer?
On number 9, I got B. I'm not going to spend my time doing this. We'll spend time doing these because there are a lot of these that popped up. This one, number 10. Anybody get this one? It's you should get 8. No, positive 8. Because here's why. I know this. I know g of 4 is equal to 8. If I plug this number in, if I plug in 4 into my function, a times 4 squared plus 24. What am I doing to my x value? I'm squaring it. What happens when you square a number? It's always going to be positive. If I take 4 squared, I'm going to get 16. If I take negative 4 and squared, I'm also going to get 16. Okay? So what I realized was on this, I did this. I plugged it in here. As I looked at it, I was going to solve for A. No, this is exactly what I did. I was going to do this. There's a long way to do it. I was going to plug in 4 into this function, and I knew I had to get 8 out of it. And I was going to put 8 here, and then solve for A, and then figure out what A is, and then plug in negative 4. But then I realized, wait a second. If I plug in 4, I'm going to square it. It's going to be positive. If I plug in negative 4, it's going to give me the exact same thing. So whether I plug in negative 4 or 4, I'm going to get the same answer. This is a symmetric function, too. We can talk about that later. Okay. 11 required a lot of math. I don't know how to do this without doing a lot of math. The answer was D. Theoretically, this is one you should do. These are systems of equations. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do that too.
One of them.
You just want to make sure. We'll talk about this. I don't want to. Let's kind of move on and see what we can do. 12 is something we all should have been able to do. Start at your origin. You go up 1 over 7. So the point 7, 1 is on the graph. Well, that's not one of your options. Well, let's do it again. Go up another one, go over 7, and that gives you the point 14, 2. It's using slope. Okay? You start at the origin and you have that slope. All you're doing is generating more points. Okay, answer's D. All right. Next page, number 13. The answer is B. This one is hard. I would not expect any of you to get this. Okay? This is one of those where, like, we'll get to it if we can type thing. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. This one, 14. The answer is A. I thought it was D, but it's not. It's A. This one's hard. These involve rules of exponents. Riley, I got something to tell you, man. This video will be on YouTube, and it will feature you on guitar.
Famous.
But that does not mean you're going to be famous.
Are you kidding? One of your
I'm just kidding.
One of your videos, Joko, has like 800 views. That's
Yeah,
like 800
that's
people
weird.
listen to Riley.
Okay, number 15. This one is hard, although you can do it if you guys have done factoring
I have not done that.
and the box method and all that good stuff. Okay, so if you're in algebra 2, theoretically, yes. Okay, otherwise, no. Answer is D. Let's go to the next page. Okay, on this one, I'm just going to write out the answers. This one, yes, if you're in Algebra 2, you've seen this. T is equal to plus or minus 2. Number 17, this is geometry question. You should get at x is equal to 1,600 feet. I just set up a proportion. Number 18, x is equal to 7. This is a system of equations one. I keep seeing those. Those are going to pop up. This one, if you guys remember in geometry when we did trig, this one would be tricky, but it's 4/5. Number 20, this is just me solving an equation if you're in Algebra 2. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. But the answer for x is equal to 100.
Wow.
So I was able to do these. I was able to do all of this in 13 minutes. That's what it took me.
Well, that's just great.
I'm also a math teacher who does this stuff all the time.
It took me 10 minutes because I only knew 2 of the questions. 10.
But listen. It took me 13 minutes, okay, to do all of them. Therefore, if it takes me 13,
That means you spent less than 1 minute on each question.
if it takes me 13 minutes to do these, it should take you about anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes.
Do all of them?
If you knew how to do all of them and were able to do them. That's kind of how it goes. That's how it goes. Either you know it or you don't.
Did you know how to do all of them,
Because you
Joko?
don't.
I didn't, I had to look back on 15. 15 was one that I struggled with.
Can we keep these?
Yes, keep them.
Not for that long.
No, but you have to think about it. Like, I looked at a lot of these. Like, I answered number 1 in probably 20 seconds. I answered number 2 in like 5 seconds. But that's just because I knew what to do. Here's the thing. There are a lot of these that you guys are completely capable of. Okay? And I'm going to write those numbers down that I think that everyone is capable of. That's number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. 10's kind of a question. 12.
Are you keeping these or are we?
No, you guys keep them. I'll have more for you. 18. Of all of these are the ones I think every single person is capable of doing. Okay? So, we'll have time on Wednesday to go into our logs to talk about what we did. Okay? And we will talk more about these problems that I have boxed up here. This video will be found on Google Classroom and my YouTube page. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye. Bye!